Yes, Keith.
Do you, did Marcia ever comment on the differences and comparisons between the Valmiki Ramayana and the Adhyatma Ramayana?
No, I'd love to have heard that.
Okay.
The Adhyatma Ramayana is more the perspective of a Brahmin, and I would love to know what he said. I mean, it's Vedic literature. It's embedded within the Puranas, so I think we can feel comfortable that it's authoritative. But I never heard Marcy say anything about it. And of course, there's a bunch of other Ramayans that also come from some very almost odd versions of the Ramayana. But I think if when they come from the Vedic literature, then we can trust them. If they don't come from the Vedic literature, except for Ramchartmanas, I think we can feel comfortable with that. That's very devotional. It's a beautiful, poetic, and I'd love to know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
Because I love the Adhyatma Ramayana.
Yeah, it's special. What version of the Ramayana would you say, or have you enjoyed the most? Maybe what version gives you a sense of it's in alignment with what Marshy kind of describes more, so the reader doesn't have to go through so much.
Well, I spent more
translating.
time going through the Valmiki Ramayana because it's Vedic literature.
I mean, like which,
Oh, English translation?
yeah, which translation, which press? Or...
And there's a couple of good translations. There's one by Shastri. I mean, they're all bad in their own way. There's many, many mistakes, or misunderstandings. It wasn't their fault.
Yeah.
They didn't have a Maharshi, to guide them in the principles. The one by Shastri, it's in a silver cover, but it's expensive. But the English is very beautiful and very poetic. There's one by Raghunathan, which the English is very Indian-like, but the translation's good, and I enjoyed that. I usually use one. I can't remember who the translator is. It came out fairly recently because it has the text of the Ramayana right there. And so when I'm reading along, I always like to go back to the Sanskrit and see what that really said. If they say something. That's the way I researched all this. I just read through the English, and if there was some word, I thought that can't be right, and I went and looked at the Sanskrit and did that. But all of them had their own good aspects and their own kind of shortcomings.
Yeah.
Shastri is nice though.
Okay.
Very, very nice English.
Beautiful. Good.